Let's dive now into IoT and Wi-Fi HaLow, focusing on low power. How are you addressing this cross-regional spectrum harmonization, interoperability, and general use cases?
Sure. So I think the first thing I would start off with is it's really exciting to see the beginning, kind of the beginnings of adoption around Wi-Fi Halo. We've been talking about it for a while, but like anything, moving into an entirely new band is always a major endeavor. I mean,
Mm.
look at how long it took Wi-Fi to move into the 5 gigahertz band, years ago, and we're seeing rapid adoption in the 6 gigahertz band. So Wi-Fi Halo, as you alluded to, is an entirely new band for Wi-Fi. It's in the sub 1 gigahertz band, and it has some great properties around it just because of the propagation you get in that band. You're able to either get very very long distances, multiple kilometers of distance with all the usual benefits of Wi-Fi,
Mm.
IP native, the same security mechanisms that you get in Wi-Fi. So you get that range, but you can also just get a more robust connection. So if you're in an environment where maybe you want sensors down in a basement and you've got to get through thick concrete walls and maybe floors, that can be challenging sometimes for the more traditional Wi-Fi operating in 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So Wi-Fi Halo kind of brings those capabilities. Now, one of the challenges for Wi-Fi Halo, as you alluded to, is the spectrum is not as harmonized as what you see with 2.4 gigahertz. And in fact, when you think about that harmonization, that global harmonization in 2.4, it's part of what fueled the success of Wi-Fi because you could scale, right? You were able to develop radios and chipsets that could be sold anywhere in the world. So, getting that harmonized spectrum is incredibly important for the Wi-Fi industry, and that 902 to 928 megahertz band. It is still something that we're working on. We're not certainly not where we'd want to be now in terms of that harmonization. But I think as more and more policymakers and regulators start to see the benefits that Wi-Fi Halo can bring, we're certainly optimistic that they're going to become more open to harmonization of that band. But just to be very very upfront, it's still certainly a challenge in certain geographies, and it's something that is ultimately limiting the or constraining the benefits that those geographies might be able to see if compared to if they had opened up that band.
Okay.